everyone, Allison Gardner here, and it's time again for another awesome video to teach you some tools in an area you might not have ever thought about before. And today's tool or technique for this new area is Emotional Emergency Kit. I would guess, being that we're in Utah, that we're in Cache Valley, Utah, that a lot of people probably have 72-hour kits. You've probably made them in a community activity before. Maybe you are just really prepared like that, so you've stockpiled some fruit snacks, some granola bars, and some water. Woohoo! That's awesome. That is a wonderful thing. Have you ever thought about compiling that stock of things for your emotional first aid? I know that I hadn't until yesterday. And I heard an awesome training asking, what do you do when emotions come up? Do you have a plan in place when emotions rear their ugly head, come to the surface, show up? I know that I had never thought about it in those terms before, but it makes a lot of sense. Just like we get our houses in order and are prepared with extra food, extra water, and any other supplies that we need for a disaster or an emergency that might occur, wouldn't it also be good to do that if an emotional emergency showed up? We are all going to face different levels of emotion, and different life circumstances are going to hit each one of us differently. We are not all going to react in the same way. Let's say, for example, you got a bad grade. That's probably gonna hurt a little bit, maybe bring up some feelings of inadequacy, maybe some fear or concern, but ultimately you're probably gonna go to bed that night, wake up the next morning, and go to it. What about breaking up with someone that you truly care about, that you really deeply care about? That's probably gonna rock your world a whole lot more and question your self-worth and your self-esteem and wonder where you go next. What about the death of a loved one? What if you were in a car accident? Maybe you're in a fender bender. Maybe you total your car. There are all sorts of things that this life that is vast and large and huge, can throw at us. So I would invite you this coming week to sit down and just jot a few notes. What are things that have helped you work through these different emotions before? Maybe you do get a bad test score. What do? Well, I might say 1 or 2 declarations to help boost me up, listen to some good music, whether that's sad music or pump up music, and then create a plan to study better next time, or ask for help a little bit earlier in the game. So write out, what are you going to do if that kind of a disappointment comes up? Then write out, how are you going to work through and process emotions if you're in a fender bender and you're frustrated or you're angry? How are you going to work through those emotions? Maybe do some write and burns. So write out on your paper, if this happens, these kind of emotions surface, this is my plan. I'm going to take 10 deep breaths. I'm going to do a write and burn. I'm going to get it all out of me and let it all go. What about grief or fear or pain? So sit down this next week and just think through, what are the different things that you can do? Because when we're in the heat of the moment, when emotions rise up, it can cloud our vision a lot. So much so that we feel so trapped in the emotion that we can't process. And so instead of being stuck in that moment, you can go to your list and just say, I know what to do. I know where to go next. A friend of mine that I was just talking with actually had a plan already written out. If she was feeling anxious or discouraged or depressed, she had a list of things to do to work through that. Service, sing, get a little bit more sleep. My addition was to have a tub of ice cream and recognize that it's okay for you to eat some of that, and then the next day you get up and you move forward. Whatever it is that helps you cope and process emotion in a healthy way, write it down so that when those emotions show up at your door, they come rushing into your life. You are ready. You are prepared because you just go to your list and say, this looks like what just showed up in my life. I have a plan. I'm going to say some declarations. I'm going to do some deep breaths, and I'm good to go. I am very excited to see how this changes your life. I kind of know it's already changing mine. And I will see you on the flip side to the brighter side of life. Bye, guys! From the bottom of my heart, have an awesome day.